Hey guys, it is Sunday here in West Virginia, and as I mentioned, like yesterday, I got some trucks in, but we had already unboxed them, so I showed you guys what I've been doing with the extras I get by customizing them to have a slam variant and a lifted variant of some of the crew cabs. Today, though, we have the Hot Wheels Legends set, or Hot Wheels 100% set of the Petty family, the Petty Traditions, I think it's called. Yeah, the Petty Tradition. And I've been looking for this set for quite a while, only for the car in the middle, and it is the Superbird. This guy right there, that's the car that I have been trying to get, and it is one of the best replicas, or maybe not one of, but it is the best replica of Petty's Superbird out there, 164th. It's true to scale, and the details are right. Even the way that the wheel openings are, they're correct compared to the regular Superbird release from Hot Wheels that they reused in the vintage racing lineup. I wish they would have used this guy here. I know the vintage racing one is worth a ton of money for a Superbird, but this is the most accurate one. This is the one that I've been trying to get. But the problem with this set is when you do find it, either it's been too late, the car got taken out and the rubber bands ate the paint, or left little marks on the paint, something like that, or you get it and the car still has the rubber bands or something like that, or you find it and it's like $40 or $50 somebody wants for it for a pristine example. Well, I found this set, luckily. There's no box. That's the only downside of it, but actually I'm going to break the set. I really don't care about Kyle Petty's Pontiac or Lee Petty's Oldsmobile. If I still had Richard's Oldsmobile, I'd probably keep Lee Petty's Oldsmobile just because it's like father and son, because Richard Petty has an Oldsmobile like this from Hot Wheels. It's the exact same casting in the black box, and that would have been cool to have both next to each other, but I'm not going to hunt for it. I used to have it when I was in the Philippines, but since gotten rid of it. So now the main objective is getting this Mopar right here. So we're going to take this off. We're going to take all of them loose and try to give you guys a look at them and such up close at a 360-degree angle. And we're going to do the Superbird first. So I'm not sure how hard these screws are to get off. I'm hoping that they're relatively easy. Yeah, so far so good. And then after the Superbird, we'll do the Oldsmobile, then the Pontiac. But yeah, there was a time where Richard Petty raced a bunch of different brands of vehicles, but mostly through the 60s, it was pretty much just Plymouth, except for 1 year he campaigned a Torino in 69, and that was it. Then he went back to Mopar in 70 with this guy right here. And this thing looks fantastic. There are pictures of the real car. They're harder to find, but it does have chrome wheels in some pics. But the main race car always had the dark blue painted wheels. They did not match the Petty blue. They were kind of almost, I don't know, like not lavender, but they're like a blue with a hint of purple, the darker blue color on the wheels. I'm almost tempted to try to get another set of wheels and tires for the car and put them on it and paint them, actually. Get the set and repaint them. Trying to get that rubber band off the axle. As you can see, those rubber bands are brutal. It even like left little marks on the tire where it hit the tire. But as you can see, there's nothing here on the side. Nothing here on the hood or that side. There may be like a little bit of paint rash here and there on the car, but not much. That's a problem that I noticed, and I was really surprised to notice it, that some of the old Hot Wheels stuff has not regular stuff, but the stuff that was the premium issued has some paint rash here and there, like my Chi-Town Hustler. Funny car has a little bit on the roof. Same thing with my 33 Willys Coupe. There's a little bit. My Mongoose 57 Chevy funny car. It's very hard to see, but it's there. Like, as you can see in the right light, you can see a little bit there. That's the downside about the older premium Hot Wheels stuff. It does have some issues with paint rashing. I'm just hoping that during the duration of my life while I have these, that they hold up good and don't end up like falling apart from like zinc rot or something. But yeah, as you can see, this thing's nicely done. The support brackets on the windshield, all of the trim around the windows is there. The support like struts or whatever you want to call them. The racing net, the roll bar is there. Even inside, it looks like they detailed the door panels to look like aluminum in a way. They add more detail. It has a fire extinguisher on the console, as you can see there. The undercarriage is beautiful. I was just picking up the rubber band. I didn't even mention the detail. As you can see, the rubber band stuck to the axle and stuff. But, yeah, the undercarriage is very, very nicely detailed on these, with the leaf springs and the rear end. And your drive shaft, the drive shaft loops and such, subframe connectors, and then your K-frame, engine, transmission, undercarriage is there. Separate pieces for the bumper, and it's correct. Blocked out tail lights, number 43. And the wing is part of the casting, which is pretty cool. And then under the hood is nice too. It doesn't open that much though, this one. But as you can see, if I get it, there we go, focus in. You got a chrome air cleaner, and then you got that big radiator support there because of all the room you have from the nose to the front of the engine. And then the exhaust exits on the driver's side. So I'm not going to force the hood open, but yeah, this is a really, really cool car. Really happy to finally get one that is in really nice shape. No rubber band damage at all. So happy to put that one in the collection. Now moving along to the ones that will be up for grabs. There is the Petty Oldsmobile, which is another one that is very nicely detailed. If I can get the screws out. Now, oh, that's Kyle Petty. Let me try Lee Petty's car. Because, they have different screws on some of them. It's kind of weird. It looks like maybe the previous owner had them out or something. But as you can see, there's like chrome screws. The Superbird had black screws. And now Lee Petty's car has one chrome and one black one. So we'll see what happens here if we can get them out. We should be able to. I know the black ones come out pretty easy. Yeah, so far so good with this one. I was started on the Lee or the Kyle Petty car, and it didn't want to cooperate too well. But with the chrome screws, but the Lee Petty chrome screws seems to come out okay. And yeah, there's the car. And it's got some really nice undercarriage detail. I forgot how nicely done these cars were. But yeah, you could see straight pipe exhaust exits in front of the rear tire on each side. They highlighted the A-frames. This is a ladder frame car with control arms, as you can see. Detailed rear end housing. And the semi-detailed wheels, chrome wheels. And this also has the reinforced windows. You can see the cage inside the car, at least in the back window part. And I think the front, yeah, there's a loop there, I think, around the windshield area. And then the chrome bumpers, separate pieces. The taillights are blocked off with aluminum. Same thing with the headlights. And then under the hood, You have a nice detailed engine with multi-piece chrome valve covers, chrome snorkel air cleaner. Pretty cool looking car. And this one here also absolutely no rubber band residue whatsoever. And there, if there is any rash on the car at all, you can't see it. That's the one beautiful thing about these light colors. They don't show up stuff as well as dark colors. I hate black cars like that wagon, the Kingswood Estate lead sled, the black one that we unboxed a couple weeks ago. That one had some issues in the casting, but all the 69s did on the passenger side. If you look at the passenger side, you can see some kind of texture on the top parts of the quarter panel on all of them pretty much, especially the black one though. And then the black one that's all gloss black, the lead sled, that one you can see every little flaw in the casting under certain light. But in the sunlight, it looks great. But under fluorescent and artificial lighting, you can see everything. So now, last but not least, is Kyle Petty's car. And I don't think it has any opening parts at all. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. Maybe. I don't think so. I may have to get some pliers and grab the heads of those screws. So we'll just go do this with his car for right now, because it's nothing that spectacular. These were when they still use real cars. Now this is from the 90s, where they started using fake cars. Basically, this is a Grand Prix from the mid-90s, where it is just a sheet metal body put over top of a roll cage, and that's pretty much it. It's a tubular frame car. These are tube frames too, but they use the original bodies with some modification, of course, to lighten them and make them clearer, like the slicks and things like that. Hence the way the quarter panels are cut on the Superbird. But these cars were totally designed by, I don't know, like NASA with the wind tunnels and stuff, to be able to operate safely and efficiently. So that's it. These cars are really not based on real cars. The 80s, like up until probably like 87, 88 era, was the last year for like real cars. Once they started doing front wheel drive stuff, then they started doing these sheet metal style cars where they make nose cones and they give them to you, a nose piece, and then the other parts of the body you as a team have to worry about, but it has to meet NASCAR specs with the template and things like that. So a lot of rules nowadays and such, and to follow. But yeah, so the cars nowadays are even worse than what we had in the 90s. The 90s were still, I guess, okay, but they would look nothing like the factory car, in my opinion, except for the nose. That's about it. So guys, that's it for our Petty family. You got all three generations: Lee Petty, and then Richard Petty, then Kyle Petty, and then there would have been a fourth, Adam Petty, but unfortunately he was killed in an accident back in, I think it was 2002 at New Hampshire. We lost two people there. That, I don't know if it was the same year or consecutive years, but Kenny Irwin died there, and then Adam Petty died there also. So guys, I appreciate you watching. We'll be back again tomorrow for Mopar Monday. We have a couple of cool green light pieces to unbox for you. Both are black. One's a Charger and one's a Ram Charger. So be sure to tune in for that. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.